Okay, 7 o'clock, call the meeting in order, Inland Wetlands Commission for Farmington. I'll ask Bruce to take the roll
All right, Commissioner Stachin,
here.
Commissioner Simons, Commissioner Berlandi,
Here.
Commissioner Fox,
Here.
Commissioner Eisner, Commissioner Kelsey, Commissioner Simpson.
Present.
Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. And then Commissioner Santos. All right, just for the record, Commissioner Eisner, Santos, and Simons said they would not be here, and Kelsey may be a little late, so. All right. All yours.
Okay. The first thing on the agenda is the general permit from the town of Farmington. We've gone over this for a couple meetings. Is there anybody who has anything else to add to it, or? Or anybody else need any more additional explanation on it? Again, this is only gonna be for a 1-year trial period. And we'll see how it goes after that. Maybe we'll keep it at 1 year for a while, and then if it continues to not have any problems, then we could go ahead and make it longer term, but either way, it's just it kind of, allows for the town staff to have, some control over, well, without having to come to the council or to the commission for every, minor maintenance work that the town has to do, that it's within 150-foot right away or within wetlands. So obviously, if they're replacing some drainage or things like that, that's going to be in the wetlands. But I think that for minor maintenance orientated work, that a standing permit should cover the town and cover the commission. So I'll ask one more time, is there anybody who has any questions on this? I know we've had a couple of discussions on it. Okay, so I'll ask if there's can I get a motion to approve the application for the standing?
Chair, we do have to vote on the significance first, and then a vote on the application. So,
Okay.
This is Rich.
Rich.
I didn't think of that. So we might be required to have a public hearing on this?
if we deem it significant, but I think, as we said, I think it's just minor maintenance work. There's no real new construction
All right.
involved. So I think we would think that it's a non-significant.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's significant. I mean, it's a kind of an idea of work, but I don't think it's significant, but I'll poll the committee and see what they feel. Rich Berlandi?
Yeah, I think it's maintenance work, not regulated, but not significant.
All right. Dave Fox?
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay. Mark Simpson?
Not significant.
Okay. All right, so I'll entertain a motion that the application is not significant.
This is Rich, so moved.
And a second,
Dave will
please.
second. Dave will second.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded that this is not a significant event and there's more maintenance. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion passes. Good luck with it, Bruce.
Thank you.
Oh, no decision.
Is that?
No decision.
Don't let us down.
Oh. I did vote on that.
Don't we have to vote?
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
to
we
vote.
have to
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, oh my gosh.
I thought that
I'm
was.
gonna- I had a tough day. All right, so that was just for it's not significant. Now, entertain a motion to approve the application.
This is Rich,
So
so
moved,
moved.
Mark. Oh.
Who?
Second, Mark.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye. Aye,
I,
opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners. I'll sit down with the highway department and we'll go over this step by step.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is 161 Talcott Notch for a solar panel array. Is the applicant here to make a
Yes, he is.
proposal? Explain the proposal?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay,
Just introduce yourself and what you're here for.
Yeah, my name is Thomas Kenny. I work for EcoSmart Home Services. That's the DBA name of our Pelton Builders. They're a local family-owned company, well, ran by husband and wife. And this homeowner in particular, they're looking to get a ground mount solar array done. We already went through the Zoning Board of Appeals process. What you're looking at here is an old site plan. The new site plan is actually currently in engineering still. I could do it myself, but I'm not a licensed engineer. I know how to do these, but we do need engineering to do this themselves. So we're actually redirecting the trench across the driveway per the homeowner's request. So
But the array is still gonna stay here, right?
yes, yeah, the array is going to stay there. We kind of went through two zoning board of appeal meetings or commission meetings. I believe it's the commission. Oh, do I have to state my name and address or anything like that? Because I know different
Sure.
commissions. Okay, I live in Hartford, Connecticut, 967 Asylum Avenue. And yeah, Thomas Kenny. I'm one of the energy specialists at EcoSmart or our Pelton Builders. So yeah, what you're staring at here is the site plan that we submitted to the utility Eversource, but unfortunately, we're redirecting the trench away from the wetlands. So it'd be like a shorter, like conduit run and trench, basically, compared to, I think it was like 100 and I forgot how much the trench
Called
was
100,
there.
yeah,
How
it's
long the trench-
190 feet.
Okay, sorry, I'm on my screen here.
That's right.
So, yeah, I'm kind of disconnected from my setup here at home. Yeah, so it's going to be a shorter run from the ground mount system to the actual meter there, meter / panel, electric panel.
okay.
Go something like that.
A question for Bruce. Whereabouts is the waterway on this or the wetlands?
I could answer that question because we kind of
Okay.
went.
Yeah, here we go, right here. Here's the house.
Yep.
There's the portion of the driveway. Let me zoom in. All right, so Talcott Notch is up here, north is up, driveway comes in, here's the circular driveway, here's the house. The array is going in roughly here, crossing the driveway to here. The wetlands are in this area, which is in a conveyed to the town of Farmington. Oh, this is the
Land trust.
land trust property right in here. So that's land trust. There's the wetlands right in there. So they'll be running that through this disturbed area. And let me zoom in here. Help you guys out a little bit. Here we go. So Talcott Notch is here. Mountain Spring Road is here. There's the,
Mhm.
nope, sorry,
So the other one,
other way. Damn, went wrong.
one more,
Oh,
161.
sorry, 161. Yeah, right here. Sorry. House is right here. Talcott Notch is here. array is right in this area here. Wiring will be here. The wetlands are all up in here. All right, then these flow down, come down, run underneath Glen Eagles, as I said, and comes out and runs, then definitely or eventually runs out to Farmington River. So
Okay.
as you can see, it's all lawn in the upland review area and driveway. So there's no tree clearing, right, Thomas? I think as part of this.
No, there's no tree clearing at all. Bruce, if actually on the map layer on the right-hand side, you can actually select the wetlands layer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's right in down in here. And this is the Farmington Land Trust property. So I just know sometimes when you turn that on, you'll cloud it. It's not accurate because because this is showing it on his property and it's not. So based on that map, it's really all on this property here. So
Yep.
And so can you tell me a little bit about the construction and like how large the post is that's going to be holding up the array and
Yeah, so the it's gonna be like a helica pile, like screws, if you will, that'll be used. I think there might have been some other documents in the attachments. So we ended up getting some this engineered by Solar Foundations, who does a lot of our ground mount projects, and we also provided a letter from the engineer that works at Solar Foundations. So it'll be like a helica screw. So it's not gonna be like big impact on the ground or anything like that. Obviously, we do have to run a trench and conduit from the ground mount, but there's not gonna be like what's the technical word for it? It's not gonna be like it's gonna be very low impact for with the ground mount being installed. So it's a helica pile screw. Basically.
yeah, the helical pile is only it's only a 2.5-inch diameter schedule of
okay.
40 pipe. And if you've ever seen those go in, they pull up with a little skid steer and they've got a pneumatic screw attachment and they just go right over the top and just turn it on. It just goes right down. They use them a lot for decks now. That's kind of the new way of no one has to dig those posts anymore.
Yeah, dig the posts or like pour concrete and all that. That's a pretty easy install for the most part.
This is just a diagram showing all the piles. So it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. All right. The array is just over 43 feet long by 16 feet wide. So
yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.
Back to the site plan. And here's a picture of the driveway. The array will be in this area here, Thomas, right?
Yes. Yep. I think you can see the yellow poles there in the photo.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Right here. There we go.
Okay. All right, well, let's ask the commission if they have any questions. Rich, do you have any questions?
Not really. I just saw in the picture, it looked like there was a couple dead trees there, on the edge. I'm just wondering if you're going to take those down before the.
Right here.
Which
Are those?
This is
Yeah,
late. This is early in the year too, Thomas, right?
Yes, it was. So originally when we did the site survey, like our technician went to the site was during the winter time, and then we had to go through the process of zoning, the zoning board of appeals. So we went and took some earlier photos. I think this was February or so.
Oh, okay. So
These
those
trees
trees
may
might
not-
they may not be dead.
They may not be
Not
dead
dead
yet. Yeah. No,
Okay.
they're not a good enough picture.
Yeah, I think that would be, obviously the responsibility of the homeowner because it's not a part of our scope. Like we can offer the tree cutting because we're a little bit more vertically integrated than most solar companies. we obviously don't just do solar. We do energy audits and HVAC installation. Like we're very turnkey operation here. But I can definitely speak to the homeowner about the tree cutting if it's necessary. I don't know if you guys have like a tree arborist with the town or not, but I'm pretty sure that might be a process with them.
No, those will be done on a private matter. So it's a
Okay.
private tree, so we have to determine, again, we could look at it right before construction. If it is dead, and if it is on Farmington Land Trust property,
Yeah.
then we can go through that route, because we'll definitely have to contact them, but I would say not, because the array is gonna be here, so those trees are probably right in here. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it just would be a shame for the array to go in and then the trees to dead limbs or something to come down and impact
Yes.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's warranties with the equipment as well, and we have like a pretty strong workmanship warranty as well. So if there's any issues, like we're able to service the equipment and all that.
Okay, and then so all of the array is going to be in the lawn area.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be in that like
Yes.
that little area there.
Let me go back to the photos here. Yeah, so right in this area here.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
If the commissioners are concerned, and if they want to put a caveat on there, I can meet with them when they get the erosion control in, we can look at these trees. If these trees are in fact dead, then like I said, if we just don't go in there and we have the homeowners stay outside without going and disturbing the wetland area, then if you want to put a little condition on there, I can work with the owners to remove trees as deemed necessary. And if I have any problems, I can come back to the commission and just show them to you at that time.
Well, I don't know if that would really affect the application. But I do have a little bit of a concern that, like, what happens if sometimes you underestimate the effect of the trees, or trees start to grow. Would the applicant have to come in and apply or notify the town, or we can make it a stipulation that they have to notify the town if there's trees that require removal, so the panel gets more daylight time or anything like that? Bruce?
Bruce, sorry. I wasn't too sure if that was a question for me.
Well, no, I guess, yeah, I guess that would be more for Thomas. They've done the shade report on here, and they've run the analysis. If something
Mhm.
is done in the future, we can, they would need to come. If it's going to be a trim, then probably not. But if it is going to be a removal, then yes, they would have to come back to us.
Okay.
Yeah, the chances are most likely they're, because it's obviously in any kind of solar contract or agreement, whether if it's a leasing or owning option like this, obviously you're going to want to protect, the production of the array. So, it would fall on the homeowner to make sure that the trees won't affect the production there for the solar. They're probably going to have to, come to you guys for any tree work, but I don't think it would be necessary. I mean, just based off of the irradiance of the shade report, just having in their place with the pitch and the azimuth and all that, the tilt of the array, I don't think they're going to need much of any tree work that's like near the wetlands. So.
But south
Okay.
south is on the driveway side, so they'll be tilted towards that route.
Right.
Yeah.
I
think
this
we're-
is February. It seems like there's a lot of shadows of the trunks of the trees. Then the summer are going to be like completely shading the area, doesn't it? Like that?
Yeah, that's correct. So, obviously, between 10 and like 4 or 5 p.m. is going to, be like very optimal like timelines. But I believe in the shading analysis, it was like after 1 o'clock, they're going to be able to get pretty good sunlight. And I think even with the size of the array, this was still enough to actually get them over 100% offset from the utility, for, consumption wise.
Okay. Dave, we'll go to you for questions.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm glad you redirected the trench away from the wetlands. And it looked like from the map that your site here is probably 60 feet or so from the edge of the wetlands. It seemed to be about 40 feet from the edge of the property.
Yeah,
So it's fairly good separation. So this is with the way the array is structured, it looks like kind of one big panel once you're done.
yeah, it's a 35 panels in
Yeah.
total. So it'll be like one complete panel, and also it'll be microinverters too. So it's not gonna be like a standalone inverter, because I think part like of the home is actually in wetlands too, like in the backside there, like the western part of the home is actually in wetlands too. So there's gonna be microinverters versus like a standalone inverter unit outside of the home. So there's not gonna be like any electrical standalone inverter being placed outside of the home. It's gonna be right behind the actual solar array, the microinverters. So
So the underneath of the array is going to stay just as lawn area.
can you repeat that?
Beneath the array is just going to leave the grass there.
Yeah, I think typically solar foundations will lay like kind of like hay, if you will, around the ground mount. I know Garrett from the town assistant town planner, he mentioned something about like stones, like 2-inch stones. But I don't think, believe there might have been a something about stormwater prevention plan or something like that. But the engineer from Solar Foundation suggested that there wouldn't really necessarily be a plan that's needed for stormwater prevention.
Yeah, I think what he was talking about, just to give everyone a little bit of insight. Where's the best plan? There we go. What happens is technically these are an impervious type surface. So when the water drop hits, it runs down through here. So sometimes, and there's some studies, and the DEP has some applications on it, but at some point, sometime you may need a little stone trench at the bottom here, because as the rain runs off, depending on the angle, depending on the size, and the storm, you may get erosion at the drip line of here. So some people will actually run stone along the base of it to prevent any kind of erosion.
Okay.
I think we had made that recommendation on a previous project.
Mhm.
And this being kind of one big panel, because they're all stuck together. It's probably pretty important to have some protection along that drip edge. That's all I have.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, because we don't want to have them have to come back after, if they're starting to get an erosion problem. We don't need to have them come back here and go through another application process to install, a drainage, just some stone, some crushed stone in a drainage trough. Are those, I looked, Bruce, can you go back to, so those panels, are they tight in between each individual panel? So will the water run down the full length?
They're not like I mean, I could provide a photo in the chat here of a recent ground mount we did in Goshen. There is like probably like a half-inch gap in between each solar module that's there. So it's not like super tight. There would be like a
Okay.
slight little gap in between.
But during a heavier storm, I would expect that it would probably just bypass that. During a small storm, yeah, it may hit that little drip line and fall in. Other larger storms, it's probably just going to sheet right off and go to the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Mark Simpson, you have any questions?
I think the commissioners have said enough things so far that I have no further questions.
Okay. All right, so the first thing we have to do is accept the application. can I get a motion to accept the application, please?
Dave will move that.
And a
Rich will
second?
second. Rich will
Okay,
second.
motion is made and seconded to accept the application. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion passes to accept the application. Based on these, the installation of these, the corkscrew method, I don't see that this is a significant operation. But does anybody feel that it is a significant? All right, not hearing anyone, that I would entertain a motion that this is not a significant event.
Rich, so
So
moved.
move, Mark. Yeah.
Okay, moved by Mark, Rich, second by Rich. Motion been made and seconded that this is not significant. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So, I think for, the next, meeting, when we act on this, if you can come back with a plan for just a small stone trench at the base, at the low side, I think that would be helpful. And what is it a standard trenching machine, the big wheel type that puts the conduit down?
That I'm not too sure. I'm like, I'm basically like a very technical salesperson. Like
Okay,
I'm not in operations, so I don't know like all the pieces of equipment. Like I'm still working on getting certified in certain things to learn more about the operational side of things. But I'm pretty sure it might be a standard trenching machine, but I personally am not aware of like what kind of a machinery they'll be using. The solar foundations will be building out the ground mount system, so fortunately, I could not have them there. Have them present today. But one of the engineers was able to provide some like material and also like a letter, just kind of explaining more of the technical side of things. I'm not too sure if it's there, if you have them or not, but
uh,
The technical part, that you have it right up.
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, I thought you meant, I thought you meant the person online is, I thought he was talking about.
Yeah. The engineer unfortunately wouldn't be able to be
Yeah.
present.
Yeah, I mean,
Unfortunately,
all it is just a report based on all the helical piles. And
Okay.
it goes into pages and pages about how they get installed and things like that. I don't envision it being a trenching machine chair because they have to go through the driveway. So I'm assuming they'd have at the largest would be a small little mini excavator or something.
what is the size of the conduit?
Look on the other plan here. That was like a 2-inch, right? Wasn't it?
I believe it might be.
24-inch deep, 18-inch top of pipe, caution tape within 12 inches of grade. It doesn't
Doesn't say
have
the
a,
size.
yeah, it doesn't have a
Well, I
size.
think it'll be like because of the voltage drop, like, obviously when you're doing like large, trenching and conduit runs, voltage does drop. So it's going to be like a pretty decent size, uh, wire, cable, I should say.
So probably 2-inch or
yeah,
4-inch. Yeah.
it's going to be around
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think something like that, they would probably have to use one of the small mini excavators.
It looks like it's a 6-inch pipe. If it's going to be 24 inches deep and 18 inches to the top of the pipe, then that's going to be 6 inches. So probably a 6-inch
Okay,
pipe.
all right. So then it would be a mini excavator and that,
Mhm.
yeah, the trenching machines wouldn't work. Okay. All right.
Just to confirm that we don't want a site walk on this.
Oh, no, does anybody feel we need I don't think we do. Rich Berlandy, would you care for a site walk?
No, I think the photos and what we've
All
seen
right.
describe it.
Dave Fox,
Yeah, I agree. We have enough info here.
yeah. Mark Simpson,
No site visit.
okay, yeah, and I don't think we need a site visit.
Perfect. All right. So
Okay,
Tom,
any other
No,
questions for the applicant?
is he there? There he is. So Tom, as we discussed, this will have to continue to the next meeting, all right?
Yeah, I think you mentioned 2 meetings, I believe.
Exactly, because we can't do it. We can't do it in one. So that'll be the, what's that, 29th?
June 5th.
June 5th. I apologize.
That's okay.
So,
Okay. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. And just a quick question, actually. So would it
Sure.
be like 2-inch stone for like the like, is there any preferences? Just so I can like relay this over to the homeowner on like, the because I'm not sure if they work with like a landscaper or anything. I'm pretty sure if anything we could, probably go through like a supply house or something, like a landscaping supply house, just to kind of
I don't think it has to be that, I mean, what would you expect, Bruce, like 4 inches deep or something, or?
yeah, I mean, really, I don't even know if we even need a detail from the show. I just think
Yeah.
if we just condition it, we can work with them, but it's probably only gotta be a 3/4 inch to a 2-inch stone, and it's probably gonna be maybe 6 inches wide, 6 inches deep by the length of the,
Yeah,
Yeah. that should be added, just something so it's just not mud every time it hits, it just erodes.
right.
So, and like I
so
said,
6 deep
I think
and 6 inches wide.
I'd say like, yeah, like 6 inches wide, 6 inches deep,
Okay.
and because the homeowner's not gonna wanna have mud there all the time, splashing
Yeah,
all around,
right.
so he's gonna
Yeah.
want his lawn to look good.
It's
Yeah.
just to prevent erosion.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it. Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a cease and desist update on 1509 Farmington Ave.
No update at this point, still waiting for the payment, and then we're gonna process it through the the municipal hearing process. All right.
Okay. And anything for a planner's report?
Yes, I have a handful of items, so if you could just bear with me.
Okay,
All right. Close up. Oh, oof. Um, All right, planners report 1. I did talk with the chair just to give everyone a heads up. A week from last Friday, we got a call from the highway department. It was late in the day. We were going over some projects for the week. And they informed us of some of these trees that are down in the river. All right, so let me go to the map. This is over in the flats. All right, so here's Route 10. All right, Meadow Road, Garden Street. So right at the old historic arch bridge, there's a little parking lot in there. So if you were to park in there and drive or walk, you can walk around this whole area here and come around. It comes up to the back of the farmer's fields here. You could also access it through that drive in the middle of the garden plots there and just drive around through here. But the area in question was in here and down in here. Specifically, the original nature of the call was right in here. I want to say it's this tree right here had fallen into the river. So this is post. No. Great. Oh, that's not the post. There we go. So let me go down here. Hard to see, but this was one of the trees that's blocking the river right in here, and that is right in this spot here. Okay, so what was happening is actually it was damming up the Pequabic. Beavers had gotten in there; they were starting to make a home, and as you're aware, this floods regularly, so it's important to keep this open and clear. It actually started to go around the tree and started to erode the embankment, and that's, you can see in this photo here. Right in here. So the farm fields are straight ahead. That tree had fallen, these trees had fallen in here, blocking the river. It actually was coming down, eating into the embankment, coming around and working its way down. And you can
Yeah.
see right here, look at the large scour that it had taken out of here. It's eating away at the road. So with the rain coming, they felt there was an emergency to get this done, so they contacted me. I called the chair, kind of discussed it, made sure we had no problem because we didn't want to wait till this meeting just in case. So what they ended up doing was, as you can see, is they cut and they left the stumps. All right, because the stumps are embedded into the embankment, so we didn't want to disrupt the embankment. So the intention was just to cut the tree and leave the stump and the embankment. So you can see this tree had fallen, as it came around and ate at this and scoured out this part of the embankment, this tree started falling. So these trees were cut using what we call a centibog. So you've probably seen these around. It's on 4 tires or on 2 tracks. But what it does is with this tool, it's able to grab the tree. It's got a saw built into it. It cuts it and it just takes the tree, turns it, and drops it on the ground. So there's really no impact to the stream, the wetlands, or anything. So it was a plus. They had called the contractor. He had it in the area. He said, I can get it over to him on Monday. So they ended up doing that. So as part of that, these trees as well were starting to pull away from starting to lean over, and they were pulling at this embankment. So these trees weren't cut. All they did here is they just trimmed off. See, that's another view of the embankment eroding from where those trees had fallen, blocking the Aquabic. But what they did here is they cut a limb off here just to try to take some weight off this tree. We don't want to cut it, but it was starting to lean. And if we lose this, we're going to lose the embankment. And it's just going to be a never-ending fight. So you can see right here, these trees were leaning. They had cut this limb up in here to just take some weight off the tree. This debris they pulled out as much as they could at that time. This debris was stacked as of May 9th. So they're coming back to grab all this, bring it over to the meet to have it all chipped up. Then what they did is, while they were there, they had called me and said, hey, look, we got another, where is it here? We have a couple trees in the Farmington River. You can see here, 2 of them had gone into the river, again, blocking it, causing flow to be directed around. This is all corn stalks, if you're wondering, from the flood. Every time it floods the farmer fields, it all pucked up and it all gets deposited down along this edge. So what's happening is when these trees are falling, they're actually pulling this embankment with it. So again, a concern, because the road is right here and we're starting to lose this. And with the trees down, it's scouring along the embankment. I walked on this and it's like spongy. It's all ready to go. So we had to get these trees off of here so it doesn't fall and pull that embankment over with it. So go back to the photos, the post photos, and you'll see where they cut this to actually left the stump so we don't damage the embankment. So 2 of them were down and 2 of them were dead. The ashes were dead. So while he was there, he said, look, I'm cutting these dead ones because I'm going to be back here in 6 months to do the same thing. So you can see they left the stumps. Again, the machine just grabbed it, cut it, and just dropped it over here. So it was just an update. And again, unfortunately, something that we would have permitted, but when I get the call on Friday afternoon around 4:30 that we have a problem. So I called up the chairman that afternoon or that night, and we discussed it, and we said, just go ahead and get it done. And then I'll bring the commission up to date. So we will keep an eye on this, make sure something doesn't move. And if we need to come back, we'll definitely address it with the commission at that time. So
Do you think we need to do anything with some of the, the bare soil embankments or?
Oh, our heads were spinning on this one. I mean, I think at this point, we may just monitor it because
Okay.
I'm not sure what to do. I mean, we were thinking about this. I mean, we could dump, what do we, if we put the material back, it's just gonna wash out? Do we look at putting a wall with stone? It's some pretty good flows. So I think we could wait and see, and maybe it'll self-vegetate again and
Yeah,
hopefully it'll stay. But we do have quite a few people in the office that do hike that on a regular basis. So we have a bunch of inspectors on there
all right.
quite often. So
Yeah, if it does continue to eat away at each storm, then I think we're gonna have to do something that, whether it's some kind of stone protection or, I mean, you want to, it's such a beautiful area. You want to keep it something that still, doesn't stick out and looks as natural as we can make it, but we also don't want the whole slope continuing to eat away.
definitely.
But I
And we
think
are,
with the trees gone, I think the more normal flow should start to take over. You might even get some sediment build up,
exactly. You could get the sediment as it's coming down, making the turn. It could just
yeah.
all get pushed into here, and this will just fill back up over time. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll watch what happens, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Does anybody have any questions for Bruce on the process? Okay. I think I saw the equipment get dropped off on like Friday or something.
Did you?
Yeah, or maybe I would think it was Saturday morning. I saw a big that the machine you were mentioning
Yeah, this kind of bogging.
was placed there. Yeah.
Mhm. So
So
it actually works out great because you don't have to put anybody in the river. It's the
yeah,
wetland.
right.
It grabs it and takes it out. The only problem we had, and that's what I forgot to mention, they forgot this tree.
Oh,
Not sure what happened, but our highway guy goes back out and goes, it was Mark. He goes, what? Oh, the guy goes, we forgot. So they're gonna have to come back to get that material out. So they're gonna see if they can just pull this out. It's a small tree, so they may just grab a hoist and pull it back and just cut it. So,
okay.
all right.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. All right, that's that one. Next one was just in case if anyone's down in that area, we wondered the same thing right along that trail on the Nancy Conklin Trail. Right down in this area. Where is it? Road. It's right down in this area here. You'll see
Yep.
some of these black plastic sheets out in the field.
Mm-hmm.
The Farmington Land Trust, we called them, we asked them what was going on because we were getting calls too. We noticed it, and they said they got a grant to do some invasive species removal and monitoring. So it's almost like a 3-year program. I think what they do is they end up putting this black plastic down to kill back the invasives. So what they'll do is they leave it there. There's a lot of mugwort, is what they said. So the plastic gets installed with the sandbags and some staples just to keep the poly in place, especially even if that area floods. The land trust will review it next year to see how well they succeed in deterring the growth of the invasive, and then they'll actually cover it again. In the 3rd year, they'll come back and plant some pollinators in those locations, and then move to another area. So the intention is to get rid of the mugwort and plant some pollinators back in there.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anybody have any questions?
So that's a 3-year process?
That's what they said. I
Wow.
kind of was surprised as well, but they did get a grant, and I guess that's just to make sure, because I can see where if you put it on there for the first year, it'll die back. The seeds could drop off and grow back the 2nd year. So I
Right.
think it's part of a plan to try to do a less invasive, no kind of chemicals or anything like that. So simpler process, come back, plant some pollinators, and hopefully those will take over and then prevent the mugwort from coming back.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Well, I just want to make sure they don't turn it into a slip and slide type of, thing.
Uh, dual purpose. There you go.
Yeah. If you
Killjoy.
see anybody out there with buckets of water and bathing suits, you know what's going on.
All right.
Could be fun on a rainy day.
Could be. Update everybody. I know I talked to the commission in the past about this, but just giving everyone an update on the Dorset Lane Pond. Okay. So back in late 22, there was a dam failure, and you'll see by these photos, the dam had blew out. It looks like it kind of started here, worked its way around, took large portions out, and literally go back to the dam. You could see how large this pond was. Well, this is what happened. Here's the downhill side of the dam. You can see sections have just been moved and broken
Yeah.
away. It looks like someone tried to install this weir plate a while ago, put some rebar in to hold it. But Mother Nature wins, I guess, you know?
Mm.
You can see that. You can see it was pretty interesting work they did. They actually this it's like a sleuth, and it looked like it was hand troweled, but it does have a little curl at the end, so the water comes in and curls up and just slowly comes right into the right back into the river. Some old history in there, you can tell. We
Yeah,
think
it
I guess
controls the turbulence a little bit.
yeah, exactly. And it looks like I think the owners had researched it, and it looks like I guess it was a farm, so a cow pasture or a farm pond or something like that is how it got built. So the pond is gone. There is no pond no more. All right.
Yeah.
So what you have now is a stream or a water course, and to bring everybody up, there's an outlet. Let me turn this on here. We have two outlets into the pond. We have a large outlet here on this side that takes a lot of Colton Street, Hatters, Diamond Glen, all comes down into this area here. And the other one is a smaller culvert, or actually, no, it's a larger culvert too. Right in here that takes some of Dorset, and then we have a larger culvert that's it's just a cross culvert. There's no real storm drainage. It takes the whole mountain. A lot of the mountain coming down runs under. So this comes under here, comes in, merges with this, meanders around, and then goes right out, back out through here. So this was in late 2022. They had contacted DEP. DEP had reduced the hazard classification of dam, which more or less meaning it's not really a dam anymore. The homeowners we're working together to try to rebuild the dam. So they were working with a soil scientist and an engineer. It sounds like the cost may be too overwhelming for the association to take on themselves. So it's not a guaranteed, but it sounds like they may be abandoning the dam and just leaving it as is, and just turn into a meadow area. They will keep us in touch if something changes, but unfortunately there is no real HOA and there really is no easement. So this homeowner technically owns the dam, and this
Yeah.
person's only been there for a few years. So she does have some concerns with some safety. So she's working with as a contractor to at least pull down some of this stuff, like take down the wear plate, maybe some of these blocks. And as you can see, where was it? Here's the wear plate, and there's like somebody built out of a 2x8, 2x6, a half of an I-beam, and you can see that they put it up against the tree. So that's what's holding the wear plate
The
in.
tree on the ground.
Yes, exactly. The tree on the ground. So she's going to want to take down some of these components, so it's not a safety issue anymore. She would hate to have someone go back there, fall, get hurt. So, we did talk to her about, we definitely don't want to go lower than the pond and then completely move this all out. So talked about bringing it possibly down to this grade here. So she is working with some contractors to get some pricing. We did tell her that, depending on what work they do, we definitely want to bring it back to the commission, and that at that point, the commission can determine if it's a permit, is required or not. So,
Yeah, I have a little information. There's the dam is on one person's land, but I think there's 7 people that kind of have frontage on the pond that
Yeah.
were,
one, two.
and I know
three,
one of one of the persons,
seven,
and
yeah.
he had asked me if I would go out and take a look at the dam. I said, I'm sorry, you're a good friend, but I'm not getting into that ball of wax. No
Mhm.
way. Because I said, if I see something that looks dangerous, and then I have obligations on me
Yep.
to deal with it. So I said, I just, and then I'm a bridge inspector. I'm not a dam inspector.
Mhm.
So I begged off, and wisely. So I think, yeah, I don't know who they found to put up that temporary brace and whatever that
Well,
is
well,
underneath
this,
that, but
from what I'm told, this is old. This was put up like
a
8
while
years,
back.
10
Oh,
years ago or something like that.
oh, okay.
This isn't new. This isn't after the dam failure. This is before. So, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if something just finally cracked. I mean, if you look at this, it's as an engineer, it almost looks like this is where it was, is where it failed. It
Yeah.
may have dislodged, and then the water just started seeping through, and then it fought its way around and eroded. So,
Yeah.
as you can see right over there, how this just gave out too. So,
Yeah. The area that you were talking about upstream of this, where the stream comes down, some of that is there's got some pretty steep grade waterfalls, and I know when you're driving by on the road, uh I almost had some concerns about undercutting on, now further up where it gets really steep going up the hill, unless it's a different water course.
well, Colton Street comes out to here.
Mountain Glen Road, I think, is what I'm talking about.
Diamond Glen has no
Oh,
storm
Diamond
drainage
Glen.
for the most part. Comes
Yeah, that
down.
area, you're just,
Well, yep. Oh, down. Oh, yes, down in here.
yeah, right here,
Because-
it gets, yeah, right, and
Yeah,
that
this is
right where
where
it says
the-
Diamond Glen Road, it gets steep,
Yeah, this is
and it looked like there was some erosion going on in some
yeah,
places.
this is the reservoir. Everything comes out from the reservoir, and a little hard to see. Maybe I get a cleaner photo. 16.
Those, are those
Yeah.
town parcels or are those
No, this is the Farmington Land Trust.
land trust? Okay,
This is the state of Connecticut. I don't know, being state of Connecticut. That's owned by the town. That is this is us in this area here. But it does come down, roars through here, and as you
Yeah.
said, it was a steep grade, so it gets close to the
gets
road.
close to the road,
Comes
that's where
down,
my
around
concern
through
was.
there. So,
Do people check on that every now and then?
yeah, I mean, it is something that they do look at. I mean, I think it's been like that probably for 20 plus years, I mean, hence the reason for Diamond Glen being the way it is. No one's really ever touched it, and if you've ever gone down it, there's that large
It's steep,
boulder outcrop right over here,
Yeah.
So it would be a pretty large project. I think everyone just kind of said it's working. It's been
Yeah,
like that
right.
for 100 years or so. So,
and there is some ledge in there too, then that helps a lot.
a ledge, you said?
Ledge,
Oh, ledge. Oh,
no,
yeah.
not ledge, I mean ledge rock, the
Exactly, yeah, because
yeah,
there's a big outcrop here.
yeah.
It
On
is
the
all
other side,
part,
I've seen some ledge too, which
yeah, the
it
ridge
kind of
line, if I
increases your
turn off the
comfort level.
photo, it's something that you may not think, but the ridge line does run through there. So, right at the top of Diamond Glen, or not top, but in the midway through Diamond Glen, it comes up, it crosses over Route 6 at that point, and then follows up along the top of the mountain. So it is actually part of the trap rock ledge, so hence,
Okay.
hence the reason for a lot of ledge along this area here.
Okay,
All right, that's number 3. Number 4, just giving everyone a heads up, we had talked about this at the last meeting. The Epicure Plaza, the work that they were doing, just to give everyone a heads up that the TPZ did approve it last week. So that's approved and they'll be starting that. And one more planners report. Just to give everyone a heads up, I met with the owner at 504 Main Street. If everyone remembers, this was the one at the edge of the Plainville Town Line.
yep,
So he does have his landscaper on board. We met with the landscaper. So we kind of walked the area. Here's some pictures. I mean, the grass, this is all rye grass, annual rye, or sorry, uh, perennial rye. So the grass is looking very well. It is rye grass. So if you're familiar with it, it's not a turf lawn. It's not very tight. So there are some thin spots in here, but for the most part, it is very well established. He's in the process of pulling this this fill pile out of here, or not the fill, but the topsoil that he had scraped up. So we met with his landscaper. This is the area that he needs to lay back and soften the slope and seed it. The erosion control looked good at this point, but so we talked about that, seeding that, and then doing this whole area here is where all the wetlands plantings will go. So,
Okay.
And after I left, he sent me a picture. The plants were dropped off right here. So plants are there.
Good.
They're going to weed whack this area first so they can get they can get the plants in. All right, because it's very tall, like almost like good like 3 feet tall. So they're gonna weed whack this whole thing down. Just in this area right now, get the plants in. They're gonna put a mulch ring around the plants. I asked them to put a driveway marker stake or a wooden stake or something at each plant location so that it could be visually noted and someone can go on there on a regular basis and just keep the grass cleared away from it. Because I told him the intent is for if the grass is not cleared, it could overtake those the planting. So you just want to keep some air flowing through there so the plants can survive and grow big. And I told him that once they get larger, there's really going to be no need that the plants will pretty much take over from there. And then everything else over, and then once he thins it out, he was going to put that New England conservation seed mix, the restoration mix all along here. So, and then that'll grow in. So at this point, he has no intentions of doing that parking lot that he talked about. So he's still working with the building itself. There's lots of issues and costs related to that. So he's been spending most of his time on getting the building back up. So. All right, so that should hopefully be happening within the next few weeks, and hopefully the next meeting I'll be able to show you some pictures of all the plantings in. All right.
Bruce,
Yeah.
it's Rich. Did he ever was he ever able to actually get ownership of that parcel?
He told me he's got 6 of the 20 people signed on.
oh my God.
20?
Yeah, he said it's been tough. Some of these heirs don't live around here, and I guess when you find out that your great grandfather owned some property in Farmington, it's probably worth a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So what they don't realize is that it's useless property. It's very minimal. Like he said, it's landlocked because this is really in this area through the line is wrong, but it runs like right through here. So this is all landlocked. They have no access to it. So it's just trying to explain to these people there really is no value to it. So, but he is working through that. His attorney is working through that. So.
Okay.
Anything else?
Any other questions?
All right, I've taken up too much of your time. All right, I'm done. Those are, yep.
Okay, thank you
Right.
for the planners report. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of May 1st. And then Wetlands Commission,
So moved by Dave.
and
Second,
a
Mark,
second, please.
Mark, second.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes of May 1st to 2024. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Motion passes. So at 8 o'clock, we will adjourn the Inland Wetlands Commission meeting and call to order the Conservation Commission. Call the meeting in order at 8 o'clock. Is there any new business?
We don't have any.
Okay,
There's
I'll
no
just,
plan.
I do have a
Sure.
question, I went to the, Farmington Land Trust meeting, last night. And they were talking about on their property, there's, a fishing, dock or something, or and that they said that there was something on the opposite side. I don't know if it was the river or pond or whatever, that the town is dealing with something.
Yes, yeah, we had talked about this a while. I think you're at the meetings, hopefully. What we have is, this is over off of Railroad Avenue. All right, so let me zoom in on there. So Farmington Avenue, Route 4, 177 over the river, Railroad Avenue.
Okay,
What they have is, what they did is when we were putting, when this subdivision was put in, Hunter's Ridge, Overbrook, as part of this, one of the property owners, I think it was Tom Zip, was working with the land trust. And I think as part of this, they were donated a portion of this land, I think. And there was a grant or some money given for the installation of a fishing pier. So if you've ever been down there, if you come off the end of the Railroad Avenue here, let me turn on the newer photos. Oh, there's a new photo. Why does it look like it's being built? Oh, maybe that, oh, maybe something else. So you come at the end of Railroad Avenue here, drive in here, there's a spur that takes you down this path here. It's a stone dust spur, and there's a retaining wall that actually gets pushed out into the river. It's made of those large
okay, all right.
blocks. And what happens is, it's already been repaired, I want to say 3 times, because every time this floods, it overtakes this whole area, washes it out, dislodges the rocks. So I think the Farmington Land Trust is not happy with it, so they're looking to do something to replace it, to move it, do something. So they're working on that. This was the one I explained to you guys where during one of those floods, we almost lost the bike trail and a major 21-inch sewer that runs through here. So this, where is it here? This one, I think here had come in and had eaten into here, and it was so close, they were failing. So the town went in there, hurried up, had some boulders and filled it in to try to protect it. So as part of that, we're now permitting that along with this fishing pier through all the proper channels. We had made an application last year, but then due to the timing, due to the amount of money and engineering that's going to be involved, we had to pull the application. So once they're done with the redesign, we'll be back with an application. So
That's got to be the worst location in the world. You've got the stream coming out at that location, and you've got
yeah,
the bend in the river right there.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've been to that. Every time we took a bike ride with my kids, they always made us stop at that
the arch bridge
that
right
little
here. Yeah,
spot.
Stone
Yeah,
Arch.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
this
you get a lot of. There's just so much turbulence on that corner of the Farmington River that I don't think you'll
and
ever
this
get a.
and this, if you back this up, this is the Unionville Brook. This actually goes all the way back to Lake Garda. So if you want to,
Yeah,
the dam right here comes out, goes underneath Burlington Road, runs through quite a bit of town open space, goes underneath Bridgehampton, takes a right, goes underneath River Road, falls through here, and this is part of the problem too. You've got a serpentine effect here that is just the velocity through here, and it bounced, and it just ate this out horrendously. So they almost lost the trail and the sewer. So that's why they were concerned with it.
Bruce, while you have that up there, the area that was eroded before, that's that little bend just to the left of that.
Yeah,
That's starting to, that's eating into the bank now too.
yeah, well, so I think
So-
what we've done is our survey crew has been out there, we've surveyed it. They've hired, I want to say it's SLR, I think, or one of the firms, and they're starting to do the review, and there'll be a long plan put together on how to address it and a planting plan. And I think what they're gonna do is they may marry this up with the fishing pier, so we're not sure how they're gonna handle it. So,
Yeah, because
So
it
we'll-
seemed like there might have been a repeat of that.
Okay,
in the
I'll take a
second
look.
location.
yeah, we'll,
It's eating in and it's getting close to undermining one of those trees there.
all right, wash out again, okay.
So we have a sewer line underneath the
Yeah,
bike trail?
right here. Just a small one.
Okay.
Come on, where'd it go? Sewer. Come on.
I'll
I
show
think there
you.
might be a gas pipeline.
There's gas in there as well. Come on. There it is. So as you can see,
Oh, okay.
this takes, let's see, to back this up, this takes everything from Hendrickson Lane, and the Collinsville Bridge down. It takes all of Bridgehampton, takes Strawfield, good part of Webster, all of Lake Garda, a lot of Burlington Road. So, and
Wow.
it's a lot of sewer. So that's not a sewer that you want to break, you know?
No,
So
especially at the edge of the Farmington River.
exactly. So I think you got to pick your poison, you know, emergency repair on the embankment, or let
Yeah,
come on 1,000,000 gallons into the Farmington River. So,
okay.
all right. So that'll be
right.
a project that we'll definitely see in the future.
Okay.
all?
Is
Yep.
there, that's all I had, you know,
Okay.
that's what I thought it was, because I used to stop there constantly, you know, with my kids.
Mhm.
But I wasn't sure the way she explained it, if I was in the right place, but I was. Okay. Any planners report?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
So Chair entertain a motion to approve the minutes of May 1st, 2024.
So
Good
moved
move,
by
Mark.
Dave.
Thank you. Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Right.
Motion passes. And with that, I guess we'll adjourn.